Ilia Topuria defending his strap for the first time, putting the belt on the line against the former kingpin, Max Bless Holloway. I think the favorite to win, in my opinion, might be Ilia Topuria. I could be completely wrong. No. So now we got Whittaker versus Hamzat. I think this is going to be... It's either going to be a mauling in the first round on Hamzat's side, or I think Whittaker survives the first round, kind of like Usman did. And because he's in shape,
gets the job done that way.
It really depends on if Ego gets involved.
Yeah.
And Ego's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man.
Weekly scraps. You don't need a map. GPS, I'm right here to lead a dash. Right. The world doesn't know it needs, but I grow disease, planet fuck a name and the fame. Only legacy remains. Remember the name, Aljamain Sterling. It ain't motherfucker.
All right, guys, welcome back to the weekly scraps. We got a guest in the house. Welcome, my brother, Ode Osborne. Wagwan.
Wagwan, brother.
Tell them.
Hey, how you do? The Jamaican sensation. It's about time we get on this, man.
Yeah, for sure.
For real.
We right here in Vegas. Why not?
Yeah, we train together enough, and we Jamaicans, man. I'm surprised it's taking this long for us to get this together.
Cheers to Funk Harbor.
Let's go, man. I see you doing your thing, by the way, with the Funk Harbor, man. Big up. Big up.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been a passion project of mine, and here we are, man, rocking and rolling. So far, so good. Just got to keep the sales coming in so we can reinvest that money back into the company and keep it growing, keep it building. It's interesting because I'm starting from scratch, kind of like I did with fighting.
Yeah. And
I'm like a baby all over again. So it's kind of interesting to be on that other side of the fence.
And so let me ask you a question. What made you choose Funk Harbor?
So a lot of people, some people have kind of given a little pushback on the name on social media and stuff. And I'm like, well, you don't understand the story of the origin. One, Funk is a double play on the words.
Yep.
Obviously, my nickname, Funk Master. And then Jamaican rum has a lot of the notes and descriptions of funk. So it just kind of made sense. And then Harbor, Dry Harbor Mountains, where my grandparents' parents grew up. So one of those, I think it was my grandparents' grandparents or my grandparents' parents. Don't quote me. But they grew up in the Dry Harbor Mountains.
That's what's up.
So they're getting a little backstory from my grandma. I heard explaining some of the heritage and the history.
Yeah.
And learning some of those things. So with that being said, Funk Harbor just seemed to make the most sense. Because I didn't want it to be Aljamain Sterling's rum. Like, that's just, one, that's just weird. And then two, maybe it's just weird because I just personally am uncomfortable with like
your name being like the brand of something.
Because then it's just I'm just not that type of guy. So
I think it's a humble. You're humble about that.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah.
But this, and of course, you do good, you do bad in anything in life, right? It kind of comes back and has it could reflect poorly or greatly on the name of the brand. So I want something that could live outside of me and not necessarily be the Funk Master this or the Funk Master that.
Yeah, I like it, man. I like it. I really do. And it's smooth, man. It's smooth. It's smooth.
From the Dry Harbor Mountains of Jamaica.
Look.
But thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we're finally here and doing it. We got the white rum coming for hopefully Christmas time. So everybody, if you want your eggnog, you want all these little spices, warm the soul for Christmas, we got you.
Them don't know about the eggnog.
We got
Them
you.
don't know about the eggnog. Hey, you take some eggnog and you put some, we used to put Ray and Nephew in the eggnog. Woo, boy.
Little Uncle Ray Ray.
Yeah, man.
I still drink Uncle Ray Ray.
Yeah,
so.
you put that family on anything and it turns it into gold.
Yeah. For real. Did you watch any of the fights from last weekend?
Last night?
Yeah.
Oh, well, last week. Yeah. No, I did. I watched most of the fights. The one, oh my goodness, if we talk about Fluffy Hernandez.
The main event was crazy.
Oh my gosh, straight melt fest. Melt fest.
And it's crazy because we see Pereira a lot. Pereira, I just, don't give me a hard time. Michelle Pereira. He trains at Extreme Couture, so I see him a lot, right?
You know what you mean.
Yeah, so whenever I see him, and I've seen him fight, it looked like he was having a pretty good training camp. So I was actually impressed and shocked at the same time with how well Fluffy did against a guy that explosive. And of course, we know he's typically known to be like that, but that was
man,
that was not
that was a clinic, but
great.
But my thing is
Just turn this up a little bit,
Yeah,
so make
got
sure
you.
we get that voice.
My thing is, whenever you build like Michel Pereira and you throwing that big body around all over the place like that for 2 rounds, you're gonna be gassed out.
Shit, crazy.
So, I think he probably thought he was gonna finish him in the first. At one point, I'm not gonna lie to you, there was a split second where I thought Michel was gonna finish him, like in the first round. I was like, oh.
Yeah, where he wasn't fighting back
Yeah.
for quite some time and just swinging haymakers. I'm like, I think the ref is about to stop this shit. I think he's about to stop this shit.
Is it me or has the refs been a little? They've been letting stuff go as of late. They've been like letting fights go. Where I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie because sometimes I feel. I'm gonna go back to the Herb Dean thing in a second. Herb Dean thing.
It's Herb Dean fault.
Sometimes I feel like they stop it too early. Like I'm obviously a little biased with your fight. I thought that with Sean O'Malley, I thought that was a little early, but besides the point. But then there's other times where they've been letting it go a long time. Herb Dean did a really good job, I thought, in stopping this one because I don't think Michel Pereira needed to take any more damage. Like he was getting just demolished on the ground, and hats off to him though. He hung in there for 4.5 rounds.
Yeah, my thing is, do they stop the fight based on what the ref thinks is too much damage for that particular person, or what do they think is too much damage in general? Because I think that changes the way that they referee fights. Yeah. Because you have a guy who has an MO like a Frank Yeager. He's known for coming back through bad adversity situations, the Gray Maynard fight, a couple of those, and then he comes back and then he beats the guy and knocks him out. Yeah. So it's just one of those situations where it would be nice for us to have clarity on how many shots can we realistically take before the ref is going to be like, you know what, I'm going to jump in, not because I don't think you could take more damage, but because I think this is sufficient enough that you are not showing the capability of improving your position. Yeah. Or I guess just improving your position is the best blanket word statement, because if you say like to fight back, it could just be you swinging a wild haymaker and really not having a chance in hell and then getting pieced up again. Yeah. So we don't really know at least I don't really know what it actually is that they're looking for in regards to a fight ending sequence. Like I know when a fight looks bad, it's like you got rocked, you got dropped, he followed up, you may be covered up or you're just dead and he's just pounding your head in. Yep. And then it makes sense to stop the fight. Yep. But if you're covering, is that you showing the ref like, okay, I got hurt, I'm trying to protect myself from any more damage so I can shake it off a little bit and then try to progress my position. But is it also a certain amount of shots where they're kind of like, okay, you need to do something, okay, I'm stopping this fight. So it's really hard for me to say because I thought Michel did a good job of showing that he can still tough it out. Whether or not that's good for his longevity, that's not what we're discussing. We're discussing the specific fight and the stopping sequence. Yeah. Because again, to your point, I think they could have stopped at some of those points, but it's also like, well, you give him every chance that you can to fight and earn his second paycheck, but it's just how much is too much. And it's hard to know because it's such a subjective thing. But my thing is, if you show, like, I'm trying to stay in the fight, I think you almost have to just let that fighter continue, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, too. But I just don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know if there is... if there is a definitive answer, I don't even know if the refs know. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of it comes down to like in the moment actions. Yeah. Where it's like, you know what I'm saying? You have a split second to make a decision where it's like, oh, I gotta do this now. I did think though, I thought Herb Dean did a good job of stopping that, only because the way the fight had gone for 4 rounds, you know what I'm saying, and he was taking so much beating from bottom. You know what I mean? And there like. Would another 2.5 minutes change the fight? I don't think so. And I think another 2.5 minutes of taking that much damage, in my opinion, I think that was a smart call.
I agree, because he didn't seem to show any signs of this can get better.
Yeah, he was dead.
I can fight back. I'm not completely fatigued, and I think as a ref, you kind of have to adjust. Adjust by looking at all those scenarios or intangible things based on like just what you're assessing. And it also helps if the ref has been in situations like that, not necessarily need to get their ass kicked, but to understand the training situations, whether that's for eye pokes, whether it's for fence grabbing. Like, you don't know until you know, because it could be one thing is like, well, I'm a ref, I know what I'm talking about, when you've never actually been in those positions before. So it's just like, well, what do you know based on what? What are you actually quantifying this against to give your almighty rule? And we're all human. We all make mistakes. I love Jason Herzog. But that fight with Cannonier and Imavov, I thought that was probably one of his most... I think that was one of his worst calls that I've ever seen him make. And, you know, he's generally pretty damn good, but to stop the fight where he stopped the fight, where he was actually trying to get back into the fight, versus where he was clearly could have made a stoppage, and I think no one would have batted an eye. It was just a weird sequence. I'm like, well, why do you stop it here and not there? I just would like to know what is the thought process without trying to get like hot about it and defensive. Is just I just need to know so I know for myself. That's it. That's all we want to know. Like, dude, we got 2 paychecks on the line. And
you know, a lot of the refs don't do any. I don't think they are allowed to do media or anything like that. But honestly, from my perspective, I can't speak on it because I'm not in their situation. You know what I mean? Like, when you got somebody's like, for me, it's a split second decision you got to make. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? It's a split second. Should I stop it? Should I not? And then if you do, then people are pissed at you. If you don't, people are pissed at you. So it's kind of one of those like damned if you do, damned if you don't situations. But I think every ref gets one. You know what I'm saying? That was Jason's one. I think every ref gets. You know what I mean? Especially you've been in the game so long. It's like being undefeated. It's very difficult to go undefeated. You know, it's very difficult to not have a bad call. It's like referees are humans. I think there are a lot of referees that have lots of bad calls over and over and over again.
Did you ever see that clip that someone made the compilation of Herb Dean's like bad calls?
No.
It's hilarious. And I'm not picking on Herb Dean. I think he's a nice dude. Like, I see him, I say hello. I'm very polite. But this clip is just hilarious, and I had to like it. I'm like, this is comedy. And Derek Lewis kills a guy, and the refs, Joe Rogan says something to him, and he goes, "It's Herb Dean's fault." I'm just like, yo. And that's in the clip. But then the one with the Herbert guy, where he gets like annihilated by Trinaldo.
Oh yeah,
and he is clearly a corpse.
Yeah, man, he's a body.
Herb is looking at him like, "What are you doing? Fight!" Like, yo, bro.
He's a
I'm
body.
like, Herb, did this guy offend your family? Did he? Like, what did he do to your honor that you want him to be sent to the shadow realm again?
For real.
He's already there.
He was melted for real.
Yeah, it's bro. But he's had a lot of situations like that. And again, I like that he lets you fight.
Yeah,
but that is a clear.
Yeah,
yo, dog. My man Kevin put his hands up to defend
that
his
was
face.
Wild. Yo,
I think you got to call it.
That was
man.
wild though. Hey, yo, who was the referee for Francis Ngannou that fight?
Which one?
The one he fought last night.
I didn't get to see, but that was in Saudi. So Radiah.
Yeah, that one was crazy too. Look at that one, bro. I thought the ref could have stopped that fight because Francis had the dude. He was on top of him, which was bing, 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 and there was a point. You know, as soon as my thing is as soon as a fighter goes from all fours down to their elbows, stop it. Yo, the dude was on all fours. Went down to his elbows, flattened out, and Francis kept pounding away. Boom, boom, boom,
like
boom,
you could
boom,
tell
boom.
by the body language if the guy goes limp, or lights go out where he has no control over his body. He's just there to be hit, and he doesn't really know what's actually happening.
Yes. Remind me to show you that after.
No, I did see it. I know exactly what you took. I watched it when I was at the fights. I was like, damn, Francis just murdered this guy.
Yo, for real.
Yo, watching those highlights, I was like, yo, this guy Hennon might actually get the upset, bro. This is And then Francis went out there just dog walked this dude,
like nothing.
I don't like to say words like that because these are my fellow compadres. But, so I try not to use offensive terms.
Yeah, man.
I'm not like Money Moicano. He don't give a
Yo, Moicano, boy.
Hilarious.
Oh, my gosh. The Raul Rosas one? Yo, I love Raul Rosas, man. He's my homie. But, man, that clip, the Raul Rosas, when he had more, it was, who did he have? It was Moicano and
Gilbert Burns?
Burns, yes. Yo.
He's like, yo, you're going to have me having beef with all these guys, and these guys are my friends.
Oh, my gosh.
Like,
yo.
yeah, exactly.
Moicano is ruthless. I remember when Nate Jennerman fought on The Ultimate Fighter, And he lost, and you know how it is. You lose, sometimes you cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never cried after I lost. In public, but I've cried after the fact. Shit, I cried after Noche in the bathroom. I'm like, man, I wanted that win. But anyways, after Nate Gentleman fought and he got sent home, you know what I mean? After on The Ultimate Fighter, and Morcano was just giving him such a hard time for crying on TV. I'm like, bro, leave the man alone, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, what kind of, I'm not gonna say the word because we're trying to get on YouTube, but he's like, what kind of crying on TV?
Nah,
I'm like, bro, you need to chill, Morcano, bro.
He got no chill, bro.
No chill. He's hilarious, man. I do enjoy his podcast, man. It's pure comedy.
Yeah, it's jokes. I'm like, I want to do that, but then I see these guys way too often to be that loose. I'm like, yo, I got jokes, bro. I could be ripping ass, but
I can't do it. That's just I'm like,
I'm
man.
a nice guy. I don't want to make jokes with you if you can't take it.
That's his personality, though.
Yeah, but people make jokes with me or about me, and I'm like, I dish that shit back.
Hell
you know what I mean? But just make sure you can take it. So
take it back
I
to
know
the lunch
not
table.
everyone is like that, so I try not to offend. There are a little bit thin skins out there. So fighters are sensitive, man.
Yo,
Fuck,
you ever been at the lunch table in high school?
Yeah, bro.
Man.
Yeah,
anyone who survived the lunch table in high school, if you ain't never been to the lunch table, you can't crack jokes with me.
Yeah, especially the hood lunch table, bro.
Yo.
It's just ruthless, man.
Hey, you laugh and they come for you, man. They come for your teeth. How you smile, how you laugh.
Yo, you snapping. You snapping. Like yo,
Bro,
I'm just laughing, dude.
You had to laugh like this when they crack jokes.
Like, oh, you think that's funny?
You couldn't even
I'm like, bro,
laugh.
this is between y'all two. I'm just a spectator. I'm just trying to. That's it.
You couldn't even laugh back then, man. But
Crazy.
now it's like, man, it's so crazy because now everyone takes everything so sensitive. You know what I mean? Everyone's so sensitive about everything.
It's a different
It
time.
is, man. It is. It was. Whew.
What was I say? And even so, shout out to Fluffy, man. I think he's one of those guys that people just constantly underestimate. And I said that going into this. I'm like, yo, people underestimate this dude way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes out there and shows his grit, his technique. He might look physically unassuming.
Yes.
But the guy's he's a badass, man.
He's a tank.
He's out there to scrap.
Yep.
He's got that.
Benil Dariush complex. He's got the Dariush complex. He looks like a math teacher, but man, he goes out there and bangs.
Well, I don't know if he looked like a math teacher. Well, but Benil does.
That's what I'm saying. Benil.
I don't know what he looked like. But he just don't look like he's gonna be like physically. He doesn't look like he's ready to.
I'm just gonna say it. He looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy. You know, like the little Pillsbury, my heart to you. You poke him in the stomach. I guess the name Fluffy puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
But dude fights like an animal, man.
He's
oh
good,
my
man.
goodness. Yo, when he fought Krylov, was it Kopylov? His name?
Rodolfo
Fluffy.
Vieira, the guy he submitted. He submitted like that crazy BJJ black belt guy.
No, I'm talking about. I think it's. You look it up. I think he fought Is it Krylov or Kopylov?
Might have been Kopylov.
Yeah, man. When he smashed Kopylov, I was like, yo, this dude is the truth. Because I always thought Kopylov was one of those dudes that was going to be, you know what I'm saying, coming up.
Kopylov, yeah, that was the fight before this.
Yeah, I thought that Kopylov was going to be, that dude. I thought he was going to, bro, he beat him senseless. I was like, oh my goodness, who is this?
He beat Shabazian.
Yeah.
He beat Barrio. He's beat a lot of Rodolfo. He's beat a lot of good guys. He lost to Kevin Holland. But
was it TKO?
Yeah, knee to the body.
I was gonna say, that's the only other way I see that. I mean, no disrespect to Kevin Holland, but I don't know that if I don't know if Kevin's grappling. I don't see Kevin grappling. I don't see his grappling exchanges enough to know if his grappling is on that level or not.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
But yeah, he's a dog, dude. I mean, honestly, I don't know what's next for him, but he's definitely in that conversation now. And I think that just goes to show his work ethic and just a testimony to all the work he's put in thus far. So,
who do you see him facing next?
I mean, I would have to look at the rankings.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is there because what was that like, 10 versus 12 or something like that?
Something like that, or
12 versus 14. I don't know.
It was something like that. I think in my mind, I'm thinking Brendan Allen, Caio Bahalia. Forgive me if I butchered that name.
Well, he can't fight Caio. I feel like Caio deserves a step up after just beating Cannonier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He just beat Ken in there, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, bro, man, that was. But I mean, bro, we talking about the UFC. Come on now.
But maybe Brendan Allen.
That's what I was saying. That was my next one, Brandon Allen. I think that would be a good because Brandon's jiu-jitsu is also really good.
Yeah,
I think that would be a fun fight. Like I said, Brandon, Kyle, or Jared. I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even Jared Cannonier, man, that would be a nice one for him. But who knows what the UFC is gonna do?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, man. No. As soon as you think like, oh, maybe I understand, the organization, how they're doing things, they're like, boom, gotcha. I'm like, oh, okay.
They're like reverse Uno, bitch.
Flip the whole table upside down. Like when I saw that Pantoja was fighting
Asakura,
I was like, oh, damn, okay.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, all right. We're going to get to that later.
Just a couple of notable wins. Shout out Jocelyn. She had a great performance. I know she missed weight again.
Yeah. How much?
It's tough. I think it was like 3 pounds.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Not great.
Yeah.
That is
I love
substantial.
Her, man. Yeah.
She's a really sweet girl, down to earth. Her and my fiance hang out from time to time out here. But that was the best she's ever looked.
Yeah, she looks good.
Then you got Rob Font, which I wasn't sure which way that fight was going to go.
Me either. After the first round, I was like, ooh. And then Rob just came, like, I wouldn't say he came back. I would say he kept that same pace, and I think Kyler Phillips kind of diminished a little bit.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed about Phillips is that he gets tired, which is because of his output and how much he moves, which exerts so much energy. Same thing I said about O'Malley, anyone who moves that much. Even for myself, because I move a lot, so I know how much it taxes you. Yeah. And this is the most I've ever talked to Rob Font was during this fight week.
Yeah.
He had a PT session. We were in there bullshitting, talking to the PT staff, just talking about the Hood Olympics that we were trying to get going because Ryan talks so much shit, and he has yet to follow through on these games. He did get me in basketball, but that was not a 1v1. He took advantage of my teammates. Every time I locked him up, he had to pass the ball.
But don't sleep on Ryan, though, man. Ryan,
nah.
Don't sleep. You can't sleep on Ryan.
He's trying to challenge me in soccer, running football routes. I'm like, all right, so let's go. And then he wants me to duct tape both my hands behind my back, and then he wants 3 minutes to not get taken down, and then do a competition out of that. I'm like, nah, bro. You give me 5 minutes. I'll duct tape my hands. We'll use a smaller octagon, 5 minutes, and you can't get taken down. And he was talking about grabbing the cage. But we've been talking about this for over a year, bro.
Wait, he said you can grab the cage?
No, he was talking about that was going to be his trick to, like, turn, show me his ass pretty much, and hold the cage with his fingers. I was like, what kind of diddy shit you on? That's one. And then 2, I'm like, that's illegal. That's effing illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't grab the fence.
But just long story short, he's been talking about this for a year.
Y'all been talking about it for a minute. I was there a couple of them.
I just want to have the competition.
And then the field goal one was another one. About what was it, 40 yards? The
40-yard field goal kick that I talked myself into. And the PKs, penalty kicks.
Y'all should come to the PT room, man. If y'all could hear the conversations we have in there, man.
Yeah, but that was the first time Rob Font and I actually had an actual conversation.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously sitting there getting worked on, and he had to listen to this torture to his ears with us back and forth the whole time. And then I forgot who he's fighting. He told me whatever. But I was like, honestly, I think it's a really good fight for you. The only thing to be conscious of is that he has really good footwork, so you don't want to run into anything. And obviously, he's probably going to look to take you down, which I'm sure anyone who fights Rob Font knows how good he is standing up. It's probably best to take him down. But you got to do damage. Phillips took him down. Did no damage. Maybe landed 3 or 4 strikes on top in that first round, and then that exhausts you. You're not primarily a wrestler, and then you move a lot on top of it. Your gas tank is going to get depleted that way, so
that's what happened.
Font showed some great improvement on the ground, being able to get back to his feet, although the first round he was taken down for which felt like 3 minutes. But the other rounds was able to show takedown defense and some awareness and landed some big shots. So I was actually surprised. That was the first time I was actually like in support of a Rob Font win.
Yeah, man.
Like normally I'm like, fuck that guy. He talked shit to me when I got knocked out by Marlon and said he wanted to do the same. I take shit personal, man. I take things personal.
Hey, I would have too though. I ain't gonna lie, man. I would have taken that. I would have taken that.
He was like, I'd like to give him another L, and then I was like, okay. And then he was like, in another interview, I would like to put his ass back on a stretcher. I was like, ooh. I was like, this man don't ready to fuck around and find out. I'm like, come try me then. But that's when I fought Calvin Kattar, which is his teammate. I was like, man, I ain't want to fight Calvin. I want to fight this motherfucker. But now we cool. Not cool, but now
But
we
he a
like,
35er. You now, you a 45
I can
now.
shake hands,
so,
like,
yeah.
all right, you all right in my book, man. You all right in my book. Just don't go fuck with my boy Marab, or else I gotta come back.
Hey, like I said, man,
but he looked good, man.
Yeah,
like,
he
credit
did.
where credit is due.
He did look really good, man. And the one thing I noticed with him is his posture stayed the same throughout the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look wilted. You know, whereas like Kyler kind of, his posture kind of diminished a little bit. And I really like Kyler, man. He's a super nice dude.
Forward pressure.
Yeah.
Always on your back foot. It's hard to fight that way, especially with a guy who doesn't care. I mean, he cares about getting hit, but if you're not landing a clean enough shot,
he's not,
you know, Rob is looking to sit on those punches as he's coming forward,
Yep.
shelling up, blocking, and
boom,
boom,
boom, yeah.
boom, just trying to bing you up. I'm like, damn, boy. She was not.
Yeah, he trying to smack you, boy.
Yeah, for real.
He trying to smack. Yeah, he was. Was it I want to say it was the third round that he was hitting some body shots in there, and I was like,
those were just rude.
Yeah, I was like, boy, why are you doing him like that with the bodies?
Those are just rude, bro. You gotta go to the trunk.
Yo.
But some other notable wins. Matsumoto looked really good.
Yeah.
The Japanese Brazilian dude. Charles Energy, shout out to him.
Shout out to my son.
I know there's some other fights that were really good. I just can't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Hey,
but we're gonna switch gears.
Hold up, I gotta shout out my son, Charles Johnson, man. You look real nice out there, boy. Keep it going. All right, go ahead.
I can't be part of this slander. Did I look like the asshole?
No, only cause look, I like Charles. Me and him are cool, actually. We're actually like, you know, he a cool dude. But before we was fighting, he was talking hella shit on Instagram, you know. So I was like, I'm not gonna say nothing until after I whoop you. Now you gonna forever be my son. But nah, man, Charles he's cool, man. He's a really cool dude. I actually like him, and I like his fighting style. He's exciting, man. I always root for him, you know. Always, anytime he fights, me and my girl always rooting for energy, man, because he brings that energy.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, there's a couple times where I was like, you know, I couldn't tell which way the fight was gonna bounce because he was kind of, you know, moving a lot, and I wasn't sure.
It was a great scrap.
Yeah, it was.
Darren Elkins and Pineda.
Oh,
that was an insane fight too.
That's a really good fight. Yep, man. Which fight was it? With the female fight. What was that?
I don't know. Jocelyn.
It was Jocelyn, huh? No, I was trying to think of a. I was trying. Yeah, it was Jocelyn. I was trying to think of which. Yeah, it was Jocelyn. If y'all, man, just go on Twitter. I didn't want to talk about it. Just go on Twitter. Twitter was going crazy on that one, man.
Yeah. So we got UFC 308 coming up. Ilia Topuria defending his strap for the first time, putting the belt on the line against the former kingpin, Max Bless Holloway. Man, this fight, it's crazy. I gotta watch the countdown later tonight, just to hype me up even more. Like, damn, we got the BMF belt and we got the 45-pound belt on the line.
I'm doing a breakdown for that one for sure.
This is gonna be a good scrap
for sure, bro.
So, I think the favorite to win, in my opinion, might be Ilia Topuria. I could be completely wrong.
No, I think so.
That's what I would think the betting odds are at right now, today.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I think if you look at the first round of Topuria versus Holloway, the first round of Topuria versus Volkanovski, Volk landed the cleaner strikes. He seemed like the faster fighter, and his footwork was seemingly giving Topuria a bit of frustration and trying to close the gap, close the distance to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
He was landing that jab over and over, which you started to see was wearing on Topuria's face, on his nose. Switching gears, Volk gets caught in the cage, tries to exchange in a terrible spot after just being knocked out not too long before against Islam Makhachev.
Yep.
And then gets cracked. I mean, that shot would have probably put him out regardless if he didn't have that fight. But who knows if he would have dropped and just crumbled like that. We don't know. So what ifs, right? But then you look at Max Holloway, a guy who also has really good footwork. He's a taller fighter, and he has great kicks. Whether or not he's going to utilize that against a guy like Topuria, that's what the question mark is going to be for me. Because I think if he does that, he fights long and uses those side kicks to stomp at the knee and to come in with the hands like he did against Calvin Kattar and a lot of these other guys, I think it's going to force Topuria to make a decision. I can sit here and try to fight looking for the hands the whole time, or I can utilize and tap into my grappling, which I think is going to be a bit levels above Holloway.
I think so too.
And I think that's the fight, but it really depends on if ego gets involved.
Yeah.
And ego's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man. Right now, it's minus 245, Ilya.
Wow.
That's the betting odds.
So he is a big favorite.
Yeah. Max is a plus 200.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, man. I think if ego gets involved, it's going to be a long night. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that Ilya's going to take him down, and grapple him. That's what something tells me that that's what's gonna happen.
Now I remember someone else very dominantly in all his fights, or should I say, who was very dominant in a lot of his fights, would start to make these claims of what he was going to do in fights, and then under-delivered. And of course, the objective is to win. So I would never disagree with that option, right? But I remember it got to a point where this man promised us on 3 or 4 different occasions of what he was going to do and did the exact opposite. And I was like, oh, this man's a charlatan.
Yo, for real.
This man is a charlatan. He's selling wolf tickets. And I know the fans know who I'm talking about.
Hey.
And I still love him, my black brother.
Bro. But it's kind of genius though. I'm like, is this like, I can't tell. Is it like a thing that on purpose, or is it like, all right, ego is like, you know what, forget that. I'm gonna do my thing.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering, because you got Ilya talking hella shit right now. Like,
man.
I'm going to challenge him to point in the center in the first 10 seconds, and we'll see who falls. Well, I'm just like, oh, my man talking spicy.
Yeah, for real.
Spicy right now. Like,
yo, he said, man, when if he goes in there, he said he points down the center against me, I will shut him down. I was like, damn, boy.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Hey,
it might only last 30 seconds.
Bring that same energy is all I gotta say.
Yeah. And you got Max talk firing back saying, I like donuts. I'm gonna give you a churro. I was like, oh, that was cold. I didn't even think about that. Oh, I never thought about that.
Yo.
I'm going to take that and give you a churro.
Man, I almost hope that Ilya doesn't shoot, because I'm almost curious to see the stand-up battle. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious, because Ilya does have good hands. You know what I'm saying? And Max has incredibly good hands. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, who's better? Because you don't know. We can sit here and talk all this talk. We don't know until we watch him fight. You know what I'm saying?
Who's faster?
Yeah, I just want to see it.
No, who do you think is faster?
I think Ilya's faster.
I agree.
I think Max has more. He's more volumes, but Ilya, I think, has him on the speed.
I think Ilya has the speed and the power.
Yes,
which is going to be a dangerous combination.
Yeah. I think I also think Ilya's more technical. I think Max, like, he throws more volume though. Max has him on the volume.
Damn, it's gonna be a dog fight.
Yeah, man. And you know what I think too? I think Ilya actually is he actually is a good calf kicker.
Yeah,
he will blast.
If he can't reach you, he'll go to the calf kick like he did against Josh.
Man. But Max, one thing he does really well, he throws good knees. He's got really good. His knee game is really, really good. So
I'm just looking to see Max like this.
Yeah, for real. Yo, I can't wait, man. I'm about to lose sleep over this fight, for real. I'm definitely doing a breakdown. I'm not doing any picks because I don't like to do picks on fights. It's just, I don't know. I don't like doing picks on fights. I used to do picks, but I just do, keys to victories.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. I can't wait to do the breakdowns for these fights, man.
Yeah, it's just gonna...
I feel like doing picks as a fighter is bad luck.
I make my picks, but behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Because I see, like I said, I see these guys. I don't want them to think I'm an asshole. I'm not. Because then it's like you're indirectly saying, I think you're going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying who I think gonna win.
Nah, man. I do the same thing. Although when my homies are fighting, you, Jamal, Marab, when my homies are fighting, I'm loud about it in public who I think is gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't really do picks again. I think it's bad luck, man. They can be like, see, this is why you shouldn't have picked against me, Oh no, I ain't doing it.
It bees like that.
Yeah.
But it should be a good fight.
Especially the trash talking leading up, man. I can't. Because Ilia Topuria, man, he is so cocky, bro. I'm just like, yo, he better not make this fight close. If this fight gets close, I'm be like, bro, Ilya, what was all this you was talking, man?
I mean,
because the way that he talking, he backs it up though. I do admire it. You gotta admire it.
He said he's gonna be the first guy to knock out Max Holloway.
Yeah, he did say it.
We'll see about that.
Yo,
He's got a hell of a chin.
He set the bar high though. Ilya's setting that bar high. That's the thing. You know what I mean? When you set the bar that high, you can't under-deliver even a little bit. You know what I mean? When you go in there talking like that, boy, you better.
There's been other champs that have done it.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions.
No, I'm setting that bar. I'm going in. I'm trying to kill you. But yeah, man, I'm excited for it. I'm just.
Merab is going out there too. He's living the dream.
Yeah.
Of a champion right now.
Yeah. I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
I think there's a lot of people giving him heat. They're saying that he's being wish-washy and whatnot. So
why?
I haven't spoken to Merab on this.
Yeah.
We've spoken on timeline.
Mm-hmm.
He wants more time to recover so that he can come back and do a proper camp, especially after doing all these media tours and press. Like, that's what most champs do, to get opportunity to enjoy the belt and parade around and take advantage of all those opportunities, which he's doing, and rightfully so. You worked your ass off to get here.
Yeah, he did.
You better reap all the fruits of your labor, bro.
Man.
He's out in Riyadh living like a king, now on his way to Abu Dhabi. Congrats to him. I know people were giving him shit because he said he would fight O'Malley in November. If you don't understand the cheek and tongue and the disrespect of what he's doing, then it's over your head. He doesn't want to fight O'Malley again in November. Ideally, if he could fight anyone again, it'll be next year.
Yep.
At the timeline that he set, which was March, to give him proper time to recover, do all the stuff he needs to do, get it all out of the system, and then put the belt on the line again.
November is
it's mad quick.
Yeah, especially if he fought 5 rounds. That's way too fast of a turnaround.
But the cheek and tongue is, I beat O'Malley. It was easy. I could do it again.
Yeah.
And I don't need a full training camp.
People don't understand that, though.
But they don't get it.
They take it too literal.
They're like, oh, but why is he saying he'll fight O'Malley? And he's clearly, it's like, no, he's not ducking anybody.
Yeah.
He actually agreed to the Umar fight. Umar doesn't want to wait, and he can't fight in March because of Ramadan. Not that he can't fight. He chooses not to fight because of his religious beliefs, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is.
But you can't be mad at the champion for not obliging to your timeline when he is the current champ and calling the shots. Yeah, the UFC mostly ends at the end of the day. They call shots. But the champ does have a say. And if he doesn't want to fight in January, February, that's his prerogative. He wants the extra time to prepare against a tough matchup in a guy like Umar, because he would be tough for me. He would be tough for anyone. He's not on O'Malley. He's just a striker, counter striker fighter. I know people are going to get, well, but he beat you, though. Again, circumstances mean everything, bro. Context means everything.
Yeah.
But whatever. The better man won that night. It is what it is. But redemption, the universe has corrected itself. But with that said, Umar decided I would like to get another fight in before Ramadan. Yeah. Okay, that's your prerogative. Whether or not that was
who's he fighting?
Song Yadong.
Okay, yeah, that's
Dong
right.
Song.
That's right. That's right.
Dong Song Yadong.
That's how you see that fight
Song
going.
That's a great fight too, man. But again, we'll see what happens. And to also be fair, Umar has technically only beaten one guy in the top 15, not to just say in the top 5, because that's impressive.
Really?
Top 5 is impressive. With Corey Sandhagen,
he only
literally one guy. And I know the fans are going to say that are going to defend him to their righteous death, that it's because no one opted to fight him. I'm like, yo, the same way he got Corey Sandhagen to fight him, the same way he could get other guys to fight him.
Yep.
The UFC does what the UFC wants to do. If they want to make you fight, they have the means. And I'm not saying they will put a gun to your head. I'm not saying that, because we all know that's not what they do. But they have their ways to entice you to take the fight. I'm going to leave it at that. So what you guys don't know and understand behind the scenes in the fight world, maybe is not for the world. Maybe I'm an asshole for even talking about it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some flack. You shouldn't be talking about that. I'm like, whatever. I'm just trying to give some context that
he said
it is what it is. Let the man enjoy his victory lap. Whoever it is that he's going to fight in March, maybe it's the winner of Song Yadong and Umar.
Yeah, I think,
or maybe Jan versus Figgy. It just really depends on what happens. Because what if Song gets the upset? Does Song get a title shot off of that?
I
don't know.
Right. Then what happened? You know what I mean? Because it is a fight. It only takes one punch.
Yeah.
So then what? If say devil's advocate, say I shouldn't even say it like that, but say Song beats Umar, what happens then? That's the thing. Do they immediately go to Marab but technically Peter Yan beat Song, so
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that Rakic fight situation with Ankalaev, which we'll get to in a second. But early, just so we not too far off track, early predictions for Topuria versus Holloway?
Early predictions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. My whole heart and body and soul wants Holloway to win. Like, I'm a blessed fan through and through. I love Max Holloway. But I think the straw that breaks the camel will be the takedown. ILIA'S grappling. If the grappling wasn't in there, and let's say Ilia was just a striker, I would have said Max. But because grappling is a factor, and I saw what he did to Bryce Mitchell, I'm gonna go Ilia.
Yeah. Okay. You didn't have to answer that, because I know you say you don't pick.
Yeah.
Damn, that was easy.
Hey, but I had already talked about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've been talking about it, bro. Me and my boys. We game. I got into gaming, and a couple of them online. We've been talking about it, and they're all in on Max, all in, and I want to be all in on Max. Like, that's what y'all don't understand. I want to be all in. I love Max Holloway. I want him to get it done. But again, I just the grappling exchange, man. I don't. If it wasn't for that Bryce Mitchell fight, it would have been different, bro.
So I think the fans need to go back and watch Yusuf Zalal versus Ilia Topuria.
Yeah.
And people will get an idea of what I mean by the footwork.
Yeah.
Tends to give him problems. Because you have to track him to sit and land those punches. That's the only thing. I'm not saying he won't eventually get to you.
Yep.
Because it only takes one. He only needs to clip you.
Yep.
Just to get you rattled enough where now you're incoherent, making bad choices. Maybe you zig when you should have zagged, and then he catches you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a talking point to look at in regards to someone like Max Holloway, who also has pretty solid footwork. Doesn't move around a ton, but he has pretty good lateral footwork.
If you watch his footwork, Ilia's footwork against Josh Emmett as well, really, really good fight. If you ever seen that fight?
Yeah, but that's like in the pocket.
Yeah.
Like he's willing to sit in the pocket. Like that's undisputed. No one can deny that.
Yeah, and I think I don't see Max I don't see Max Holloway really like evading much. I think, you know what I'm saying, he gonna stand in there and bang with him.
I don't know if he's doing that.
You don't think so? I think he might, man.
That's good advice.
I think he might. I'm telling you, I think Max might. And that's another reason why I'm swaying the other way. Again, when I watch him versus Josh Emmett, I'm just like, oh my gosh. But then when you watch Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, oh my goodness, that was such a beautiful performance.
And his footwork
in that fight was incredible. Like, there wasn't a second where Max was just standing stationary. He was just moving left. He would move him left, right, then he go forward. Left, right, go forward. It was incredible. His footwork was masterclass.
And that's what I'm wondering, if he's going to be able to utilize that against Topuria or not, or Topuria be able to shut it down.
And we don't know. He could very well utilize that very well against Topuria and just freeze Topuria in his tracks and then sting him. You know what I'm saying? But man, Volkanovski, another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So now we got Whittaker versus Hamzat. This one is I think this is going to be. It's either going to be a mauling in the first round on Hamzat's side.
Yep.
Or I think Whittaker survives the first round, kind of like Usman did. Yep. And because he's in shape,
he gets the job done.
He'll get to do what Usman looked like he was going to do in the later round.
Yep.
Because he's going to have the stamina and the endurance to actually keep that work rate. But it's very interesting because he doesn't have the wrestling background like a guy like Usman.
But he's hard to take down, though. Whittaker is very hard to take down.
Yeah.
But not, he also hasn't faced anyone with a pedigree like Khamzat. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Yoel Romero was an Olympian.
Yeah. I forgot about that. that.
So
Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be. That's an interesting matchup, man. That's a very interesting matchup. Like you said, it's either gonna be, get him out of there in the first round or survives the onslaught. And if anyone could do that, it's Whittaker. I feel like Robert Whittaker reminds me of like that one kid back in school that used to be really fat, just super athletic, just for no reason. Like, bro, you don't even work out. How are you that athletic? You know what I'm talking about. That kid that played basketball and football and he was just gifted. That's who Whittaker reminds me of.
He's got a great work ethic, and he looked really good against Ikram in his last fight.
Yeah, he did.
He beat Paulo Costa. So it's 2-fight winning streak ever since losing to Dricus. Dricus, whatever. Yep. Potato.
I was actually, I was very surprised that that Dricus beat him. Honestly,
Hamzat's only 13-0.
Really?
Oh my god.
How many UFC fights has Hamzat had?
This is crazy. Not much. I think 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All
right. Now I have a question. You think Hamzat makes it to this fight?
Oh, I'm wrong. I can't count. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Usman was a 7th fight. I was about to say that's actually crazy.
Yo, and what's even crazier is Alex Pereira. He's been in the UFC for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
And he's bodying people left and right,
or
whatever. Now, do you think it's the weight cut why Hamzat gets really sick before his fights, or
I think he just trains really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I know he's having some issues over there. With what do you call it? His country, so to speak.
Yeah,
I know he's had there's some stuff going on over there.
Yep.
I don't want to get into that because then I don't want to feel like I got a hit on me. Shit.
Nah, yeah, we won't even touch it.
But I know there's some conflict going over there with him, and
that's why the fight's in Abu Dhabi, correct?
That's why he can solely really only fight
in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's allowed to come back to the U.S. to fight.
Right now, no. That's what I heard. He's not right now.
It's just based on the powers that be that he supports or has shown support of. So if people are interested, I'll let you go online and do the research yourself. I do not want to get involved in that. I like my family. Oh, man. But just going back to his talent, seeing his work ethic, man, I know people close to him that has talked about his work ethic, how he trains, the type of workouts he goes through, and just how he looks overall and what he does to guys in those sessions. And we see the clips when he's kind of just mauling these guys. He's a stud. I'm still curious to know if he's just a 1 or 2 round fighter.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only knock.
What do you think about Gilbert Burns' fight?
I thought it was very close, and I thought it was split and could have gone either way. I think it was a split decision.
I thought it was split.
No, it was unanimous.
I thought Khamzat won that fight only because. Oh wait, no, because Burns dropped him too. Yeah.
So that's why, for me, I was like, I don't know how you're scoring these rounds. That's when I fought Piotr Jan. That was in Jacksonville.
Oh, it was, man. I forgot about that.
But with that said, who knows, man? I just know him beating the guys the way that he does, the way he beat Usman, the way he was able to control him. I even sent you the clip that we were utilizing some of that and just adding that into some of the drills. Like, well, let's recreate the scenario and see how we could use this to benefit some other positions. With that said, he's a very tough, grinding style, and he's not afraid to throw, and he's tough. Where he gets cracked, he's gonna still keep coming back.
Yes, he will, man. Hey, he hit. You know what? Kevin Holland fight. I thought he was. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, let's see what. I was interested to see how the stand up was gonna be between him and Kevin. Yeah. Then he hit me with the okie doke. Yeah. I was like, oh, you got me. You got me. Got me again.
Damn
it. Got me again. I thought y'all were gonna duke it out for a minute. He was like, nope.
Nah, that was cold blooded.
Yeah, it was, man. Path of least resistance.
Well, it was almost kind of. I hate to say it, but let's call it what it is. It was almost kind of cheap. Because he fake glove touch. He went to touch
the hands and went
took his ass down. I was like, Kevin. Oh no, Kevin. No.
He went whoop boop. I was like, damn, you gonna do my dog like that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, whatever. He did what he had to do to win. Close that distance. He was like, I ain't fucking around with the Kung Fu Big Mouth. Taking this man down right away.
He said right away. And man, he did. He wasted no time.
Yeah.
Okie doke. I was like, oh, you did me dirty with that.
But Whittaker's solid, man. He's got some great combinations. So I'm looking forward to see how he handles the wrestling attack and pressure of Khamzat.
Yeah.
He has that beautiful same side head kick off of his cross where he's kind of got that lead hand low and he's looking and it just shoots up that almost like a 5/1. It's like a jab, but an uppercut at the same time comes up from underneath, throws that too, and then follows behind with the head kick. And the way he timed the reaction of Ikram in his last fight to see how he was checking, and then came in and beat him on the punch, landed the shot, and then finished him off with those last few punches. And I was like, man, Whittaker is just... he is good.
He is, and he's also so light on his feet. Like, he bounces, you know what I'm saying? He's kind of...
moves well.
Yeah, he kind of has a similar style to Wonderboy Thompson. You know what I mean? With that, like, bouncing, super light karate almost.
He fought Wonderboy.
Did he?
At my UFC debut.
What?
UFC 170.
Really? Who won that? Wonderboy?
Yeah.
Knocked him out?
TKO, yeah.
With the kick?
Yeah.
Oh, that was him.
I think it was like kicking hands, but...
Oh, that's crazy, bro. I
forget the exact sequence, but it was some ninja shit.
That was your debut? I wasn't even in... I think I was an amateur fighter still.
Punches round
when
one.
When you debuted in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was an amateur fighter when I watched that. I was like... I didn't even
Sarah
know...
McMahon versus Ronda Rousey.
What happened? Oh, yeah.
Daniel Cormier versus Pat Cummins.
Wow.
I watched. I remember that. Throwback to the past.
Yeah,
right
you've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, 10 years, bro.
Wow.
I'm out here in these streets, dog. I'm out here in these streets.
Yo, for a minute.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but
something happening.
They twisting.
Something happening. Something happening.
They cramping, bro. I think Khamzat is more favorable to win.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if Whittaker finds a way to slow him down in the first round.
And then
I think keys to victory for this, Whittaker's got to make him pay for his offensive attack.
Yeah.
And if he could drain the battery of Khamzat early,
Yep.
if not, if Khamzat could get him down, make him work and exhaust himself so it's even if Khamzat gets tired, but he gets tired too, then his offensive attack almost becomes useless in round 2 and 3.
3-round fight?
3-round fight.
Okay. If it was a 5-round fight, I would sway a little bit more towards Whittaker, but because it's a 3-round fight, you know, like I said, it's gonna be like, you know, because it's a 3-round fight, I think it's gonna be a little bit more. It's gonna be harder for him. It's gonna be harder for him, man.
I'm just thinking about Kobe Covington. He's like, he got disqualified from the common cold. The common cold took him out. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is hilarious.
Is he gonna fight Ian Gary or what, man?
I don't know what he doing.
Oh,
that man's out here living his best life.
He really is.
I don't think he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either. You know, unless Trump gets elected, then he might come back. You know, he might do it for the Trump 2024.
Maybe. So we got. They're not on this card, right? Rakic. No, they're on my card, right? No, they're on this card.
They are. They're on this card.
Oh shit!
They're on this card.
So I don't know what's happening with the Ige fight and Lerone Murphy. Allegedly, Lerone Murphy has pulled out. We don't know. We haven't had full confirmation. Danny Ige says on Twitter it was fake news.
We'll see.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, we will. Hey, check all Twitter sources, man.
Yeah,
that's
for
where I go for all the tea. Twitter got all the tea.
With that said, of course, I'm rocking with my guy Danny Ige to get it done.
Yeah, me too, man. Let's go, Dan.
That always got to go.
Yeah, 50K Ige.
Take that donut, give him a churro. And, you know, no disrespect to Murphy. Seems like a really nice dude.
But we Dan's the homie.
For my guys. That's the bro code.
Dan's the homie. Dan's the homie. Why am I so, like, underneath my microphone?
Oh, damn. My man doing crazy shit over here. We're here fucking up the studio. Yo.
Look, this is why you can't have nothing nice.
God damn. Wait,
fault,
hold on. Let me fix this. Nah, you did enough. You did enough.
I felt like I was underneath my mic for some reason.
Yeah, because you got to pull it down, brother.
The mic was just like, it kept, I felt like as the show was going on, it kept rising up.
Knocked over Pikachu.
Oh, my fault, Pikachu. There we go.
Damn, Pikachu got haymaker down.
My fault. Yeah, I feel like as it was going on, it just kept on like.
Damn, my man fucked up Pikachu.
Damn,
Pikachu mad at you.
My bad, Pikachu. There we go. We're good now. In here like swimwear.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's bloopers.
Ankalaev versus Rakic. Okay, we all know Ankalaev should have probably been the guy next up to fight Pereira. Pereira, Alex, Poatan. Let's just call him Poatan for ease of pronunciation.
Chama.
He should have fought Poatan, but because he had this fight booked, the UFC said, nah, we're going to let you fight this one out, and we're going to give somebody else this fight because we just think it's just a better fight. Okay, cool. The UFC's known to do stuff like that because they can break the contract anytime they want because they just can. And just tell you, yo, we got you. Just be patient. We'll take care of you. With that said, he didn't get the title shot. Now he has to fight this guy. Rakic, I think, lost his last one, if I'm not mistaken, to Jiri.
Yes. No, he lost
to Prochazka in round 2, got TKO'd, and to Blachowicz, leg injury in round 3. He lost TKO. Before that, he beat Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith, lost to Volkov by split. So he hasn't really been the most active guy because I think he had some injury that was kind of plaguing him a little bit. But he's back now. Him beating Ankalaev messes everything up.
Yeah, it does. It sure does, man. It flipped the whole board over.
But does it?
I think it does. Shit, it flipped the whole board over for everybody.
I mean, the UFC clearly didn't want Ankalaev to fight.
Yes,
Pereira,
that's true.
Poatan.
That's true.
So
that's true.
For who does it mess things up for? So,
I think it might be one of those finger cross fights.
So this is one of those scenarios where he would probably be the UFC's hero if he can get rid of the boring fighter, which I don't think Ankalaev is that boring. No. I don't think he's boring. I mean, there's going to be some slow moments, especially when you have a grappling style, but it's also the onus is also on the other guy who decides not to move on bottom.
Does he have 2 draws?
I know he has the 1 draw. Nah, 1 loss, 1 draw.
Okay.
The 1 loss is to Paul Craig.
Yeah.
1 second left on the clock where he taps out.
Yo.
In a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
The last second, he tapped out.
That
insanity.
I would have lost. I would have lost sleep for real. I would have lost sleep over that. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been in the gym the next day, like, yo, coach, put me in this position and hold me in there for 3 minutes.
I could only imagine what he was going through mentally after. Like, damn, I can't believe I just did that. 1 second left,
man.
But he has the 1 draw to Blachowicz, which was a really close fight. So here's my thing. People are saying that he's going to do such a great job of taking down a guy like Poatan, who really hasn't had a lot of offensive wrestling opposition besides Blachowicz. With that said, Ankalaev didn't have the most success rate against Blachowicz, taking him down. So Blachowicz now fights Poatan, doesn't really get him down either.
No.
So with that being said, it's kind of one of those weird situations where which one is it? Is he that dominant of a grappler? He's not like a 55-pounder in like a Khabib, in like an Islam, an Umar, like the guy Almabayev who just fought. Yeah. He's not one of those type of grapplers. Yeah. You know, I'm not even going to say myself. But
shout out to my uncle, Almabayev.
But I think people are kind of looking at this as he's going to go out there and just take him down and it's going to be a boring fight. I don't necessarily think he's going to go like that. I think Alex have shown some pretty solid takedown defense.
I think he has. I agree.
And
I agree.
I don't think Ankalaev has shown offensive prowess where you can like, yeah, for sure he's going to take him down and this is going to be what the fight's going to look like. I don't know if it's going to necessarily be that.
Yeah, and it might just be one of those fights. Like, I just need to see it. You know what I'm saying? Where I need to see, can Poatan, like, defend takedowns? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know that Blachowicz showed a little bit of it, but it was kind of like, it was weird because Blachowicz was the one pressing him and pressing his gas tank, but Blachowicz gassed. So it's hard to say, you know what I'm saying?
But it was a draw. That fight was weird anyway.
Yeah, it was a weird fight.
I mean, I don't have many takeaways from that other than Blachowicz has shins of steel.
Yeah. Did you really think it was a draw though?
I don't know who I really thought won. Yeah. I didn't have he for sure won. I didn't. There was none of that. It was just like, well, who the hell do these judges think won? Because I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody knew.
I don't even know what the hell I just watched.
Right. I don't think anybody
Dana was like, thank you guys for coming. Yeah. Jamal Hill versus Glover Teixeira. Yo, Dana
for real.
No fucks.
Man, I for real watched that fight like, wait, what? All right. Okay.
It's like no rematch.
Yeah.
We're just gonna move on to the next two. Crazy. But then it goes to say again, like Rakic, he's been looking good on the pads. I don't know if Ankalaev is a very threatening stand-up threat. Of course, he's got power. He's a big dude. Rakic has just been knocked out by and caught by Jerry with his awkward style, but Ankalaev doesn't necessarily fight like that.
Yeah.
I think this is a sleeper fight that people are going to be pleasantly surprised, which will make Ankalaev look good enough where I think people start to change their tune on what they think about him overall.
Honestly, I don't even know. This is one of them ones where I do not know. If you ask me to pick, I'm like, I can't. I need to see it.
He's got good hands.
Yeah,
Rakic.
I need to see it. It's one of those fights where I just need to see it. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't. I mean, yeah, I can't call it. But overall, this is a good fight. Shara Magomedov, the guy with the bullet shower.
Oh, yeah. Who's he fighting?
Armen Petrosian.
Oh, yeah.
Good kickboxer. He was on Contenders.
That's gonna be a good fight because you've seen moments where Shara, just looks lights out really, really good. But then there's also moments where it's kind of like, you know what I mean, like, all right, man, I need to see a little bit more from you. You know what I'm saying? I need you to get a little bit more test to see if you are really that guy. If you really are him or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because anyone could look like him against, you know what I mean?
Well, he's a kicking sensation.
Yeah.
The guy kicks his asshole.
He's incredible, man. He's incredible.
Jeff Neal versus RDA. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Daniel Santos. I like the Santos kid. He's tough. Yeah. He gets so fat after making 135. Yeah. Like, I get big, bro, but this man gets fat, dude.
Yo.
That's all love, bro. I'm like, yo, enjoy your downtime. But
man, he hanging out. Yeah, him and Patty having lunch together, man.
Bro.
Him and Patty over there eating burgers.
Dos Santos, the fatty batty. It's not good. No. But for you to get in shape like that, and it's pretty big. Impressive.
Also, dude that went up to 35 from my weight class, he was a champion for a minute. He just fought Cody Garbrandt. Why am I spacing his name?
He just fought at 35?
Yeah, he fought Cody Garbrandt.
Oh, Figueiredo.
He's another one who gets big, man.
Yeah, but I never seen him get big like this dude. This guy is like pudgy. Yeah. His cheeks, like my cheeks would get fat. I'll get a belly, and I'm clearly swollen. Like, but then it just kind of. But he looks like that's like his.
He looks like you said, like Patty.
Yeah, like the heaviest I've ever been and seen on the scale after making 35 was 182.
Yeah, that's.
He looks bigger than that.
Damn.
Because I'm like, bro, ain't no way you telling me you in the 70s right now. Ain't no way, bro.
Ain't no way. Yeah, crazy. Man. He gets, and that can't be good for you too. You know what I mean? Over the course of your life to go all the way up like that, and people can say, well, even with Patty, man. Regardless of what it is, that can't be healthy to go all the way up, to go all the way back down, to go all the way up, to go.
I'm telling you from experience. It ain't great. It hurts, actually.
Yeah.
And your body just goes into the survival mode where it's like, I got to hold on to everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing this intentionally, but I just can't stop eating.
Nah, bro.
And my body won't release the excess waste whatsoever.
That was me like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. This Kennedy Njoku, I butchered the name. I know.
Hey, he gonna come after you for
that.
But
he's fighting Chris Barnett at heavyweight.
Bro, so I love Chris Barnett, man. He's just like his personality. He's so funny. Like how a dude that big be doing backflips and shit? Like he be flipping all over the cage.
But my man is, how tall is this guy's? Like 6. What is he? 6.
And Barnett got to be like
6'5",
5'8" or something like that.
Yeah, this dude is 6'5". So this is just gonna be a hilarious fight. He's 5'9".
5'9". Yeah, that's gonna be
it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh man.
You got Farid Basharat fighting Victor Hugo. The Basharat brothers left Vegas. They are now at ATT.
Yep, in Florida.
In Florida. That's actually where Mozart trains.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting to me because I thought we were pretty like cordial at least. I definitely know cordial.
I don't think they're like that, man. They're not like that.
So I would be curious to know if there are like strengths and weaknesses of strategy or style of training that they would share. And I don't know. I'm not saying that they do, but one has to wonder.
Yeah.
Whether or not anyone would do that.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who are like that.
Yeah, and you know what? If they were your average humans, I would say so. But the fact that they're so disciplined in everything that they do, they don't go out, they don't drink, they don't do it, they don't. they're very diligent in the things that they do, and they do it a certain way. They don't associate themselves or train with certain people they don't want. They're very strict with what they do. So I don't think they're like that, man. I think they're.
I hope
very,
so.
Yeah. Nah, I think they're very. You know what I mean.
I can only hope. I would never know because I'm sure none of them would
None
actually,
of us would know. Yeah, we don't know.
I'm just hoping that the same courtesy I give everyone else, they would be the same.
Yeah.
In that regards, but it is what it is. Obviously, they're new teammates and whatnot. So, I'm also like, well, am I mad at the enemy for trying to find any leg up that they could? No, but it makes you more reluctant to want to train with a lot of people from other places. Because of situations like that.
But I don't think they went there for that. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not why they went there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that by any means.
No, I'm saying because he, like the training partner wise, you think they went there because the training partners? Or
I think they went there for coaching.
For coaching, yeah. That's what I think, too.
Yeah.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah. I'm not even discussing why they left. I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out that one thought that I have to kick around.
Of course,
I think it would be ignorant and naive of me not to have those type of feelings whatsoever.
See, and I'm that way too. I would think about it because even when I think it was Sparrod was supposed to fight my guy Montel Jackson, you know what I'm saying? I did a whole camp with Farid to prep him for what's the French dude? Lapilus. Yep. And Montel Jackson that's the ride or die homie. That's I've known him for a hot minute, but I told him. I was like, just so you know, like, whatever we do stays between us, you know what I'm saying, out of respect for you and I, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get it. I would think the same way, the thought would cross my mind as well. But, yeah, I don't think they're like that.
Yeah. I hope not. That's all I say. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
I would
that's
not
true.
know.
None of us knows.
Yeah. The same thing anyone could say about me as well, right?
Yeah,
but I know I at least have an honor system where I just wouldn't do that because it was like, bro, that would be scummy of me to do that. Yeah. Especially, I like to go and train at multiple different places, so that just would not be cool.
And I think, one of the things that gets me, man, is guys that go and train at somebody else's gym and then they leave and then ask to fight them. I think that's
very grimy.
That's grimy. There's like MMA etiquette, and that's like number one. Yeah,
people do some crazy ass shit, man.
Hey, you talk to your boy Cody Stamen?
What about?
He's fighting what's his name? Damon?
Blackshear?
Yeah.
Oh, what about?
I think so. I think that there was like he was mentioning.
They fought already?
No, not yet. But he was mentioning.
They're about to fight.
Yeah, he was mentioning something about that. Like Damon went to his gym, and he left, and then he asked to fight Cody. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so. For me, I'm like,
it's kind of like when Marab and I were both training, like, I don't want to say full time, but mostly at Extreme. Marab felt that was kind of what happened with his fight with Cody, like, because Cody was obviously highly ranked in the top 15, or top 10, needed an opponent, and I guess out of all the names they picked him. Mm-hmm. I don't know who picked him. But this is what Marab is articulating to me, like he picked him out of the list of names that was given, which is kind of like, damn, I thought we were like training together, help each other elevate until it was like we had to fight. Yeah. Because obviously no one's going to be as cool as we were because we came from literally the beginning. Yep. Versus, okay, we came here, we're already established. Like, I know at some point we're probably going to bump heads. Yeah. Like, that's understood. Yep. Versus coming up from the very ground up and then it's like, yeah, I can't fight a guy like that. A guy I actually hang out with all the time. Yeah. Go to his house. He's helped me move. Met my parents. I met his parents. Helped him do stuff. Like, it's just kind of a different.
It is. And people don't understand that. People don't understand that at all, man.
Yeah. Like, I'll fight my grandmother for $50,000. I'm like, yeah, because you're an idiot.
Like, what? People don't get that at all.
Don't like your grandma very much.
And not just that, but it wouldn't make for a fun fight. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, if I had to fight someone else, like one of my best friends, it wouldn't make for a fun fight. When I say that, I mean for me personally, it would be stressful. Preparing for a fight like that would be so stressful because all I'm thinking about is our friendship. And like, you know what I'm saying? And subconsciously, in the fight, obviously you're going to do what you need to do to get the job done. You know what I mean? But it just wouldn't be fun. Yeah. Not that fighting is fun in itself, but
yeah, fighting is a very unique.
It is, man. Thing. You have to either you got it or you don't. Yeah. If you don't got it, you don't do it.
So let's end it with these last 3 questions, right? 4-man BMF tournament. Who would win? Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, or Justin Gaethje? Who are you taking and why?
I'm taking Max Holloway. Man, Max is just a dog, man. He is just first of all, Max's volume is he can go 5 rounds with that same pace, all 5 rounds, and I love that. And not many fighters can do that. Justin Gaethje can do that as well too, but not like Max can. So footwork, distance control, volume. I'm taking Max.
This is a tough one because Max has lost to Poirier twice.
Yeah.
He beat Gaethje. Gaethje is 1-1, winning the last one against Dustin. Then Dan Hooker also lost to Poirier. I don't think Hooker has fought Gaethje yet.
I forgot about that.
So this is a tough gauntlet to call. If I had to pick a winner out of these 4, shit, man. I lean towards Dustin just overall beating the majority of these guys at least once.
Yeah.
Or twice.
I forgot Dustin beat Max.
And Hooker.
Yeah, and Hooker.
And
oh,
Gaethje.
Man, damn.
But Gaethje also knocked him out in the last one. But he was winning before he got
clipped,
knocked
out
with that head kick. So, I don't know. That's a fun tournament.
It is a fun tournament. It's very fun. I'm still taking Max, though.
What are they doing? They drawing straws to see who gets who first?
Yeah, probably. Shit.
Because look at Hooker, man.
They playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, he had a crazy resurgence of his career.
Yo.
He's just a mofo. I don't even know. That guy
I am not going to lie to you, bro. I thought
he was done.
I did too. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've never said this before publicly, but Dan Hooker, I thought he was going to lose that last fight, honestly.
To Gamrot?
Yes.
I did too.
But, boy, he can't. I was like, who is this? I was like, who is this?
I don't want to say like I thought he was going to lose.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very difficult matchup for him to win.
I did too.
Because Gamrot just keeps on going with the takedowns.
His wrestling is so stupidly good. It's dope, man. Gamrot got stupid good wrestling.
Yeah, I think the difference was that Hooker was doing damage, although getting taken down, where Gamrot was doing mostly takedowns, but was able to land some damage, but just I think Hooker was able to pull away. Yeah. I got to watch the fight again because I still think Gamrot edged it out because I believe that was a split decision. But it was a really close fight. Yeah. Either way, couldn't be mad at whoever got the hand raised.
Man, that was
dogfight, bro.
Incredible. That was incredible, man. For real, that was incredible. I was like, wow. Like that was. I think that was Dan Hooker's best performance, in my opinion.
One of them for sure.
Yeah, that was incredible. That one and then the Jalen Turner one was really good.
Yeah.
That was.
Now, early prediction: Bilal versus Shavkat. They're fighting on the same card that I'm competing on. UFC 310 here in Vegas. Shout out Funk Harbor. Go get yourself some of that Funk Harbor, funkharborrum.shop. Go get you some.
Go get you some. Get you some Funk Harbor. Bilal versus Shavkat.
Shavkat has a 100% finishing rate.
But Bilal is durable. He's very, very durable.
I don't know if we ever seen him really get hurt.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to go. Oh man, Bilal's the homie, only because we were teammates at Rupert Sport. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little biased. So I'm gonna have to go with the homie Bilal.
Okay.
Gotta go with the homie holding it down.
I will say Bilal is much improved. I know a lot of people who have been kind of shitting on him.
Bro, people do not like Bilal.
They call him boring. I'm like, how's he boring? Like, his fight with Brady was exciting. Yeah. He got a finish.
Yeah.
His fight with Leon there was excitement in the fight throughout. He
dropped the dude on his head.
It wasn't like he just pressed on him against the cage and did absolutely nothing. Like, he was taking him down, landing some punches. Who else has he fought before that? Gilbert Burns. His last 3 fights were good, fun fights.
Yeah.
No matter what no one wants to say, Burns had one shoulder, whatever. He had fun fights. That's what we're discussing. That he had fun fights.
But he just got the stench on him. Once you get the stench on you, you can't get the stench off.
Trust me, I know. It's hard. It's hard on these streets.
Hey, but at least you came back from the clown emojis. You know what I'm saying? Those were the days, man. Them days, those was rough.
Those were the days.
The clown emoji days was rough, man. I would have been, man.
You know how many people told me, like, yo, bro, you should just, deactivate your account.
Yo, for real.
I'm like, what am I going to do? Deactivate my accounts for a whole year? What am I going to do? Twiddle my thumbs? While everyone's enjoying. So I was like, fuck you.
Hey, you came back from that like a thug, though,
man.
man.
I'm gonna show y'all what's up.
Hey, but then they didn't put no respect on your name after that either, man. That was
But you know what was so annoying about that? None of those guys who saw that one fight, a bad rehydration fight against Piotr Jan, my first championship performance, none of them watched any of the fights leading up to that, where I literally beat 3 top 5 guys just to even get a shot at the belt, not including the guys I beat in the top 10 or the top 15. I've been doing this shit for mad long. It's like, yo, homie, respect my game, because one fight is not a reflection. You should have a brain to go, well, why did he deserve a title fight in the first place if he fights like shit? Oh, let me look at his last few fights. Oh, clearly something had to be wrong. I think that he's going to fix whatever happened, and he's going to come back and get the upset. That's a logical thinking.
Yeah, but
the world ain't logical.
No, man. We talk about some
of you guys
MMA fans that, nah.
Those are the casual ones who just tune in and once they see you, that's it. They have their opinion.
Yep. But
can't change it.
I will say I'm starting to like this new era of fans. Not new era, I guess. The fans are starting to watch fights more, whereas before I feel like they only liked heavyweights, 215, because they were just getting knockouts back in the tap out days. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot more eyes on the lower weights now because fans are actually paying attention to, not the casuals, I'm talking about real fans, are actually paying attention to what's going on now. And before, somebody like Sean O'Malley would have been like, what? Who's that? You know what I'm saying? Back in the tap out days, man, who was there getting hella praises that was slick as hell?
I guess just Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, and they weren't even our weight. They were still what, middleweight?
Yeah, but the exposure was very different though.
It was.
In terms of ESPN is now a global monster.
But all they wanted to see was big dudes fight. Yeah. They didn't want to see us. That's the thing. That's why I'm loving this era. People are actually excited to watch. Look at the Brandon Royval and Tatsura fight. People are excited to watch little dudes fight. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man. Because before it was just like knockouts, heavyweights just slinging and banging, and that was it, man.
I try to get praise to the flyweights as much as I can. Because I'm like, yo, how would the UFC ever even in their right mind thinking to get rid of this division? Just because Mighty Mouse was so damn good, no one could hold a torch to his candle. Like, he was just a different level. And even now, to this day, he's still just a monster.
He really, really is, man. Mighty Mouse was different. He's different, man.
I'm leaning towards my guy Bilal Muhammad. I think he's going to shock the world and prove a lot of the doubters wrong. And I'm not saying Shavkat's not a beast. He's a beast. Mm-hmm. But I have some questions still that need to be answered about him. Yep. The Jeff Neal fight was questionable. Yep. Not questionable, like he won, but it was a close fight.
Yep.
And then the Wonder Boy was a very close fight, and that's a unique style to deal with. Damn, my camera just died again. It's cool. We're pretty much wrapping up anyway.
How you know? Damn.
But with that said, he was able to get the submission once he finally got him down. But when he got him down the first round, there was literally almost nothing that was happening. But I don't know. He still got the job done, still got the finish. So we have to still put respect on that, right? There's still a process. But with that said, I don't think he's untouchable. I don't think he's invincible. I think he's good at what he does.
He's very good.
But I think Bilal coming into his own, I think he has a very good chance of shocking the world and coming back with a W.
I agree.
I'm leaning towards that.
I agree.
I think he's going to take his O, and I'm going to take Mozart's O, and we're just giving out churros. That's it, baby. Churros all day.
Handing them out.
Just handing them out. It's hard to
like
yell
Oprah out
when
here.
You got a backpack
you gotta know. You gotta know. You gotta know. O's for everybody. Look, let's go.
You get a 1. You're getting ones like Mayweather. Ones, L's.
Mayweather,
L's.
man.
All right. With that said, tell the people where they can find you. This was actually a long episode.
Oh man, it really was. It's a dope episode though, man. We got some good conversations, some good breakdowns. But yo, I just started doing breakdowns myself. I did a test run last week. My setup is pretty dope. I'm happy with it. I gotta get a mic set up and an actual camera because right now I'm using my iPhone. So we're almost there though. You know, I'm trying to get something. Eventually, I want my stuff to look like yours, but you got the spots, you got the hooks, boy. Ooh. What I say? Ooh. But yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram, Ode Osborne, YouTube, Ode Osborne MMA. Check out the pages, man. Everything is at Ode Osborne. I keep it short and simple. The Jamaican sensation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, done, Noah.
With that said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe.
Hey, they know what you meant.
Comment, subscribe. You know exactly what I meant. Peace and love. See you guys next time.
Yep. Follow your boy Aljo, man, if y'all don't.
Peace.